Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new, hi, I'm Jody. I am 54 and I love all things beauty. Today is Friday face-off day. I know I shared with you guys I would not have a video today because I was gonna have family in town, but plans changed. I'll tell you about that in just a second. But let's talk about today's Friday face-off because this is gonna be a different Friday face-off. Normally, every other Friday, the Friday face-off is two products that we compare side by side to see which one is better. Sometimes we find a less expensive dupe, and sometimes we find out that the more luxurious or higher price point product is the better for more mature skin. Today, I thought we're gonna take a little bit of a different spin on it and talk about techniques, specifically the eyebrows. Because if you are looking at my channel and you're looking at my makeup, deciding if this is a channel you wanna follow or not, you're like, the makeup looks okay, but something's missing. You are right, the eyebrows are missing. So today we're gonna do a pencil eyebrow versus a powdered eyebrow because A, eyebrows are important, but B, which technique really gives you the look that you're going for? And they do give two different looks. So as I've matured with my skin, not necessarily my brain, it's still maturing, I think. As my skin has matured, I have found that a certain eyebrow technique just looks better on my more mature makeup look that I pull together. But you may decide that you like the other look. So if you are ready, let's get some eyebrows done. And again, we're gonna do a powder side versus a pencil side. I'll show you exactly what I use. And not that you have to use these same products. You can find products that are at a lower price point if you want. You can use eyeshadow if you find that it is the powder side that you like better. And then you can also find some pencils if you like the pencil side better. I love NYX eyebrow pencils. I also really like e.l.f. eyebrow pencils. So if you decide that the pencil side is better, there's some options at all different price points. So if you're ready for an updated eyebrow technique with two different formulas, let's get started. All right, so let's talk about our brows. First up, if you are somebody that likes to have your brows done, but you don't want to do them every day, there is always the option of a temporary dye to do your eyebrows. I like to use the Godefroy solution because it is plant-based. It's super easy and it only takes a few minutes and it lasts 4 to 6 weeks. I have a few gray brows and it does cover up those gray brows. I noticed that the gray was starting to show through at about the end of week 3. So it goes 3, maybe 4 weeks, and then I needed to redo them for sure at the 5-week mark. But it was really easy to do. In fact, I've got my kit here just to show you. It's super easy, you guys. The bottles, you can order the color that you want. The bottles are numbered 1 and 2, and then it comes with these cards, and you just put a few dots of the number 1 on number 1, which is your color that you want, and then you put a few dots of the number 2 bottle where it says number 2. You don't mix these. Number 1 is your color, and then number 2 activates your color. It comes with a spoolie so that you can easily paint on your brow the way you want it and coat your brows. Now what this doesn't do is like a micro needle. It doesn't give you brows on your skin. It's really meant to tint the brow hairs that you already have. So depending on what kind of look you want, if you just want your brow hairs that you already have darker, then this is a good option. And again, I like this option if I'm going on vacation or if I'm gonna be in and out of the pool, or if I don't wanna do my brows every day, then this is a great option because you have some brows there. And I like my brows the same color as my roots. So whether I've gone blonde and my roots are blonde, then I'll go a little bit more blonde on my brows. But if I'm gonna have dark roots, then I like my brows to be the same color as my root. That's just my own personal preference. Again, it's whatever color you want for your brows. So let's talk about the two different processes that we're gonna use today. One is gonna be the pencil, and we're gonna do that just on this side so that you can see how that goes on. I like to use this one by e.l.f. I also like NYX pencils. I think NYX pencils last a really long time. Now, if you like gel pencils, the one thing I would say is go towards more of a harder pencil formula and not one that's so gel in formula. If you are going through hot flashes, for example, or if you're in a very hot environment, because the more gel formula this pencil is, the more you're gonna get some of that meltdown look, or it's just gonna go away and fade throughout the day. A harder pencil, more like NYX, will last you longer if you are in a hot environment or you have hot flashes. I like the one from e.l.f. like I said. I also like NYX. I also like Anastasia of Beverly Hills. Now, once you find the color that you like, you wanna go up in warmthness. And what I mean by that is I like my makeup neutral to cool, but when it comes to my eyebrows, I like them to be a little bit more to the warm side, because when your brows are too cool, it just makes your face look a little bit too lifeless. There's just not enough life in your face when your brows are too cool. So once you find the color, just make sure you go one tad towards warmth when it goes to your eyebrows and see what you think of that look. All right, so in terms of brows, we are just gonna go and I just wanna shape them. And my brows are definitely a little bit short on both sides. So I am gonna lengthen those, not down here, that's way too much. I'm gonna lengthen them with my pencil. And to do that, I just like to have this edge go across the nose and then put a pencil mark there so that I kind of have a template. Same with the front. I want that to go right where my nose edge is. So with the pencil side, I will just leave a little bit of a mark. All right, now in terms of the way I like to do my brows, everybody is different. I like to just go with little feather strokes from those two dots on the bottom to create the bottom side of my brow until I hit that arch. And then I want to bring it down just a little, but not down in a downward motion. I want to bring it down and out so that the tail of my brow is not ending in a downward motion, but that this last stretch of brow is heading, I don't want it to head south, I want to drive southeast. That makes sense? Or southwest, depending on how this is going to show up in the camera. And then once I get that bottom line, then I will go up and create that top line, little feather strokes. And you can see how exaggerated my brows actually get compared to what I really have. And then I will go in with the pencil side again and just fill in the gaps with little hair strokes. The thing about eyebrows is you don't want that area to look solid. If it looks solid, it tends to look very fake. You need some of your skin to show through because no one's eyebrows are solid. So you don't want it to go so thick that it looks like you have paint. You want it to look as though you have skin underneath there. So something like that. I'll go back in and just straighten this line again. Now somebody left me a comment last time I did my brows and they said never ever, and they capitalized never, never ever draw straight lines with your brows. I think that's a personal preference. If you don't like that look, then yeah, don't do it that way. I just prefer that look. So now that I've got the eyebrow on, I am gonna go in with a concealer, and this is an important part. I'm just using the e.l.f. Hydro Camo Concealer. I'm gonna take a straight edge synthetic makeup brush and just get a little bit of that concealer on the brush and then dab it off so that I don't have any large amounts on here. And I really wanna focus just the tip of that brush right underneath my brow to carve it out, just so that I can get a real straight, natural look. And then once you get your eyebrow to look however you want it, I just like to take that edge of that brush and blur out that line. And what this does is not only clean up the precision and the shape of your brow, but it also adds a little bit of a natural brightness to your eye area and your eyeshadow area, and just gives you a nice polished look to your brow. Now the last step is you can add a little bit of clear brow gel, or if you don't have that, you can add a little bit of hairspray to a spoolie and go through and put that hairspray on through your brows, and you'll have brows that last all day. All right, so going over to our other side, this one is a little bit different because we are going to use the Anastasia of Beverly Hills Brow Powder. The exact name is Blonde Brow Powder Duo. So I have it in blonde, obviously. This is a powder. Now, if you like this process, as I mentioned at the top of the video, you can always use your favorite eyeshadow You just want to find an eyeshadow that is matte. You don't want a sparkle or a shimmer eyeshadow, of course, in your brows, unless maybe you do. I don't know. I'm not going to judge that. It just, yeah, maybe that would look pretty. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, I wouldn't do it. Then I'm gonna take a edged pencil brush and go into this shadow. You just want a shadow that is more stiff. You don't want a loose powder, you want more of a pressed powder. A bronzing powder would also work in this instance. In fact, if you use a bronze powder that has some color to it, maybe practice with that first and then change the shadow that you like, if that's an option for you. Now, I like to hold my pencil somewhere in between when I'm doing this technique. The farther back you hold your brush, the lighter the hand and the less control. The closer to the bristles that you hold your brush, the more control you have, but it's a heavier hand. So I like to do my brows somewhere in between because I want a soft look, but I want to deposit enough shadow that I have a look. Same technique, I just go across the bottom and draw that straight line. And because it's shadow, it's a little easier to work with and it's a much more forgiving formula. And I just realized that what I didn't do is dot it, and I need to do that. So let's do that as well. This side needs to come out a lot more than the other side did. So I'm just gonna go across the top. The thing with the shadow is it's, like I said, it's more forgiving, and I think if you have hot flashes, a shadow will last longer, at least it does for me, than pencils. So I do like that look. I also think that it is a softer look to the brows. So as I mentioned in the beginning, there's one of these techniques that I have liked better as of late, say probably since spring, and it has definitely been the powder side. I just find that it's not as harsh, and I like to go a little darker with the color, so I like the formula to be a little less harsh, even though the color is darker, if that makes sense. And then when I get to the front, because this is a nice thin straight edge, just pick up a little more powder, and I can create those individual hairlines with a powder just the same way that you can with the pencil. You just have to use your brush instead of the pencil itself. So you can see the powder just gives you a softer, more diffused look, but still you're able to get a nice defined shape with your brow. And then of course we'll go in with that concealer just like we did the other side. For me, this is just a cleanup step that I like. It's like I wouldn't put on lipstick without lip liner, and I wouldn't finish my eyebrows without cleaning them up with a concealer. It's the same step to me. It's the same level of importance to my finished makeup look. So there you go. You can definitely see the difference in the technique by the intensity of the color. Now again, you can go with a lighter color, but you still want to make sure that you go with the diffused formula. So if you've often wondered what is the difference in eyebrows between a pencil eyebrow look or a powder eyebrow look, this is essentially the difference. For me, the powder looks much more diffused, and I like it because you can use your bronzing powder or you can use eyeshadow that you have. You don't have to purchase a new product. On the pencil side, I like the pencil side for a more intense, maybe glam look. And the price points on the pencils are all over the board. e.l.f. and NYX make good pencils, all the way up to Dior has a really nice precision eyebrow pencil. It's a really thin gel pencil. So that's the biggest difference between the two, is what look do you like and then how do you like to apply it. My other tips to remember is find the color that is right for you. And for me, just a root color is a good rule of thumb. And then take it one step towards warmth just to warm up the overall look of your makeup, even if you like neutral to cool makeup looks. Well, that is Friday Face Off. There's really no winner here. It's a matter of personal preference and education of which one you like, and they're both relatively easy to do. And if you just don't like to do any of them, there's always Godfrey's tint if you want to just tint them and be done. That does it for me today, you guys. As I mentioned, I didn't have family come into town this week because our rescue dog hurt herself on election day, actually on Tuesday, and has a, I have the paperwork right here because I've been reading up on it. A ruptured cranial ligaments in both knees, meaning she basically blew out her ACL in both knees and needs to have surgery. So we are in the process of scheduling that and keeping her comfortable until that surgery can happen, which we're hoping for next week. So a little bit of sad news there. It's just she just looks like she's in so much pain, although we're managing the pain through some medicine that the vet gave us and doing the best we can. But yeah, I am here and we are nursing dogs and making videos. So that's just what's up this week at the household. I hope you enjoyed this Friday face-off and enjoy the rest of your day. And I will for sure see you in just a couple days. Thanks for watching. And as always, thanks for subscribing and helping me on that journey to 100,000. Hopefully by the end of this year. We are definitely setting a great pace. So thank you and welcome to the new subscribers. I'll see you guys in just a couple days. Bye-bye.